Do you guys know that your great bunch more times ancestors, grandparents, actually walked on 4 legs? Humans are what we call bipedal. They walk on 2 legs. They use their hands to grasp things. But our ancestors didn't have that ability yet. They didn't have that trait. They walked on 4 legs. They still grasped things, but they hung out in trees. They certainly didn't have iPhones. So it's actually really interesting to see the line that we took to get where we are today. And it's really useful information to know how you are what you are. I am a student of evolutionary science at Purdue University, but it doesn't really matter what I am, because I'm just relaying information that came from people who are much, much smarter than me, mostly from Darwin himself, the father of modern evolution. So natural selection is the process by which evolution takes place, and it is how species change to better fit their own environments. Darwin himself explained it a little bit better. He called it a general law where species multiply, change, and then the strong survive. So everything that you do, everything that you are made up of, is something that we call traits. That's from the amount of toes you have on your feet, to your hair color, to the height that you are. And for a second, I want to take a second to say, I'm 6'2", my roommate is 5'8". Now that doesn't really matter to us, because we're humans, we don't really have predators. But in the wild, if we were being chased, say by a lion, one of us would have an advantage over the other. I would be a little bit faster because I have longer legs. He'd be better at climbing things and hiding in smaller spaces. So we might both get away, but someone in the middle might not have such a good chance. That's where trait diversion comes into play, where 2 different traits can both have advantages, while one in the middle has no such advantage. A good example of this is actually Darwin's finches. This is a group of finches that are a type of bird. They live in the Galapagos Islands, a very small set of islands. They have a very limited food source. Now, originally, these finches only ate seeds, the one in the middle there, with thicker beak. But as the population grew, they ran out of seeds. Imagine going to your pantry, you don't have your favorite type of chip. So what do? You eat something else. You find something that there is a lot of, such as this finch found grubs, and a longer, sharper beak for digging into the ground and finding different foods. Thicker beaks for fruit and nuts. Then spear-like beaks to find insects in rotting wood. So, although natural selection is hard to identify from our own perspectives, because it takes such a long time to happen, we can find evidence on it in other species as well as our own through fossils and DNA. Just like how we found fossils of dinosaurs. Natural selection is the reason we see a lot of the weird things, weird traits in animals we see today, like elephants' trunks, leopard spots, things that will help them survive that may not have happened in the past because those animals didn't. And it's good to know because we use it every day in agriculture. We make bigger crops. Potatoes didn't used to be that big. Corn certainly didn't have the big kernels it has today. Natural selection is a process that we use as humans. It's very important to us. It's very useful to know about. Thank you.